Die Pressekonferenzen des Berlinale-Tages heute mit Queen at Sea. Der amerikanische Regisseur Lance Hammer greift ein Thema auf, das sicher viele Menschen in unserer immer älter werdenden Gesellschaft bewegt. Die Frage nach einem würdevollen Alter. Dafür brachte er zwei wunderbare Schauspieler zusammen. Juliette Binoche als Amanda und Tom Courtenay als ihr Stiefvater Martin. Sie kämpfen mit einem moralischen Problem. Kann Amandas Mutter Leslie, die von fortgeschrittener Demenz betroffen ist, noch wichtige Entscheidungen selbst fällen? Wer soll und wer darf die Verantwortung für sie übernehmen? Große und schwierige Fragen, auch auf der Pressekonferenz zum Wettbewerbsfilm Queen at Sea.
I know what's happening to her. I know what comes next. But she doesn't. Mercifully, she's ignorant of what the disease is doing to her. So I have to be also. I have to consciously block out of my mind what I know, because if I don't, I fall into such a black, hopeless void that I can't function. And I'm not going to let hopelessness ruin our lives together. I have to function for her sake. Understand?
I do. But it means she's completely vulnerable.
What if we just accept that?
What are you going to do now?
I'll have a bit of a walk. I'll take a cab home.
Couple of minutes for photographers. Can you please take your seats as soon as possible? We don't have a lot of time. Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica Kiang. I'm a member of the selection committee of the 76th Berlinale. And you're very welcome to this press conference. It's my great honour to be moderating this press conference for Queen at Sea, directed by Lance Hammer, which is unfolding and premiering tonight in our main competition. We have an amazing panel for you here. I'm going to do some quick intros. Starting furthest away from me, we have Tristan Gallagher, the producer of Queen at Sea. Tristan is one of the UK's leading producers. He's particularly associated with the films of Andrew Haigh, the early films of Andrew Haigh, including, of course, 45 Years, which played here in competition in Berlin in 2015, the immaculate 45 Years. He's also the co-producer of A Prayer for the Dying, directed by Dara Van Dusen, which happens to be playing in our Perspectives competition for First Fiction Features this year. Besides Tristan, we have Anna Calder-Marshall, who delivers such a heartbreaking performance as Leslie in Queen at Sea. She is one of the UK's renowned actresses of stage, film and television. And on stage, actually, in 1968, she played Ophelia in one of her earliest stage roles. She played Ophelia in Hamlet, in which her co-star was her co-star in this film and her neighbour on this very panel, Tom Courtenay. Tom delivers an absolutely fearless performance as Martin in Queen at Sea, but then fearlessness is something that we have come to expect from him over his over 6 decades of his incredible career. He has won far too many accolades for me to list here, but they include, of course, a Berlinale Silver Bear for Best Actor, which he won for the aforementioned 45 Years, a film I still think about 4 times a week. Next to Tom, we have Lance Hammer, the writer, director, and producer of Queen at Sea. This is Lance's long anticipated second film after his 2008 debut feature, Ballast, which won him Best Director and Best Cinematography at the Sundance Film Festival. Next to Lance Hammer, we have Juliette Binoche, who delivers such a devastating performance of restraint and empathy as Amanda in Queen at Sea. I couldn't find any information about Juliette Binoche, nothing to say. I'm joking, of course. Among Juliette's way too long list of accolades, of course, is an Academy Award and the so-called Triple Crown of European acting, in that she has won Best Actress Awards at Cannes, Venice, and here in Berlin. And of course, in 2019, Juliette was the jury president of the 69th Berlinale. Next to Juliette, and holding her own in such intimidating company, there is Florence Hunt, who plays Sarah. She is a fast-rising star at the very beginning of her career, but you may well recognize her as Hyacinth Bridgerton in Netflix's Bridgerton. And finally, right next to me, there's Adolfo Veloso, the cinematographer from Brazil, who provides Queen at Sea with its precise, almost sculptural visual style. Adolfo is having quite the year. He also shot Clint Bentley's amazing Train Dreams, one of the most beautiful films of last year, for which he has recently and very deservedly been Oscar nominated. I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions, so please remember when the microphone comes to you, stand and give your name and the name of your outlet. Thank you very much. Let's go here at the back, the green.
Hello to everybody. Here's Mark Harapetian, publisher and founder of culture magazine Spirit, The Smile and the Storm. Really a good film and an important topic. My questions goes to one of my heroes, Tom Courtenay. How would you decide in a way when someone you love has dementia? Who should make the decisions? You or other parts of the family or institution? And when I talk now to you, one of my favorite films is The Night of the General, starring Peter O'Toole, Omar Sharif and you, the Anatol Litvak movie. What are your memories on this amazing war film? Thank you.
Well, I'm afraid my memories of The Night of the General have been completely obliterated by my memories of Queen at Sea. And when I got the script and a letter from Lance saying I was to play opposite Juliette, I was more than excited. And having seen the film about 10 days ago, I was very pleased with the decision I made to take part in it.
Sorry, yes, lady.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Thank you for this great film. I really loved it. My question goes to Ms. Juliette. Thank you again. And how do you think, in the first part of this film, when this one and only lady without husband, divorced, is between two couples, two love couples, young generation and the parents, did she have some very, very deep inside, little bit jealous? How do you think? Little bit jealous because she's alone and the two generation is falling in love.
No, I didn't think of that.
You didn't know?
I think it's, as far as my experience as a woman being between, two generations. One, has gone raising into the needs, the sexuality and everything, and the other one's just trying to struggle.
Yeah.
I've never felt that.
Never?
I think we never talked about the fact that my character was going through a jealousy phase of all this. She's trying to survive.
Yes.
She's trying to make it happen, that everybody's okay and
Yes.
still on the boat and trying to, face the immense questions about how do you make security in a perspective that of being in a situation that is very difficult, is being in a house, and also with the situation of a mother having Alzheimer and the sexuality involved. There are a lot of questions that are raised in the film, but jealousy is not one of the themes I thought about.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Can we stay on this row with the lady in the pink?
Hello, Natalia Szuk, Accent UK, Courtenay Berlin. Thank you for this movie. It's my favorite, not only on this festival, but I have not seen anything like that for a very long time. My question is to Juliette and Lance. I was wondering, how did you explain to yourself what was clouding, if it was clouding, your character's judgment? Because, for example, for me, as I was watching it, for me it was clear that Tom's character is the one to judge because he knows his wife so well. He just cares, or he knows small things about her, etc. But for the daughter, it was not that obvious, as for us spectators. So what do you think was preventing her from seeing this love, maybe, and from sort of expecting him to hurt his mother? If Tom would like to comment, it would be also great. Thank you.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Maybe I should have translation.
Yeah, the question is, what, to your mind, to your own opinion, was preventing your heroine of seeing the true love Tom's character had for his wife? Why did she expect him to harm her? Why did she want to take this decision from him?
Maybe you should answer that.
Well, this is the central question of the film. It's about agency and consent. And when is someone's agency taken from them or robbed from them, either by the illness or by somebody else, an institution, family member? And when is that decided, and how is it determined? And who's the best person to determine that, or the best institution to determine that? So I don't know.
I think this was a very hard thing for, what's she called, your character? I know, Julia's character to deal with, because she knows perfectly well how much he loves his wife, but he's not able to look after her. That house with all those stairs, the feeding, he's not up to it. He can't look after her, but he believes he can because he loves her. But that's unfortunately not quite the end of the story. And so there's this debate, about going in a care home, which he doesn't want her to, and Juliet's.
And I don't think my character is questioning the love. It's questioning whether, where's the limit when you have a woman, my mother in the story, that has Alzheimer. Where's the limit you put with the consenting to make love or not? And I think she's trying to protect her mother. It's not about love. It's about something else.
And I wanted to add to that. Amanda never questions the love. She's seeing what Martin may not be able to see because it's happening so gradually, the decline into dementia, or that he may not want to see, so he's repressing or in denial about. And there's a real chance, so he doesn't believe he's harming her, but he actually may be. And Amanda, Juliette's character, has the clearest eyes, she thinks, and no actions are being taken, so the burden falls, unfortunately, on her shoulders to take action which will cause harm to somebody, and she knows that. But the best thing she sees, it's important to protect her mother from something that her mother may not be able to express, because dementia has taken her ability to articulate. If she's experiencing distress, in fact, she initiates the act sometimes, often, in fact, and that's a common thing that does happen. And but it's still not clear that that's in her best interest to do it. It may be causing her harm anyway. Martin's character, Martin, may not understand that, and Juliette's having to make the very difficult choice to take action.
And it happened before as well, so it's coming again, so that's why it's raising faster.
I'm going to go to the lady in red, and then to the gentleman here with the long hair.
Hello, Catalina Onea, Romanian magazine Conștiința. A question for the director. The footage we see at the residence with the incidents is dated March 23rd, 2023. Does this date has any specific meaning? And also, I guess the question on everybody's mind, why the title, Queen at Sea?
Did you say the date of the footage?
Yes,
March
23rd of March.
I'm not sure how you...
It's right there, right. It's on the footage, 23:03:23, and then it was 15-something hour. So it's a lot of
like
three.
Some dailies that you're looking at or something?
Excuse me?
The CCTV.
Oh, I
The
see.
footage, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that was completely random, but that's Bruno Gans's birthday.
So maybe not.
So it wasn't completely random. I think you should claim that.
I really
Definitely
admire him,
here.
and especially in Wings of Desire.
And then
Seminal
the title.
film for me, so I unconsciously maybe, I don't know.
Okay, and then the title, Queen at Sea.
Queen at Sea.
Thank you.
Boy, I'm not avoiding an answer here, but I don't know. I can say some things maybe. It remains unclear to me why. But at sea in the English language, and particularly in the British version of the English language, the English version of the English language, that means being in peril. Or maybe when you say somebody's at sea, they're lost, or maybe cognitively at peril or lost. And I thought of the Queen. I had an image, I'm remembering it now. I had an image in my kitchen of a queen being on a galleon going to war. And when a queen is on the galleon at war, and there have been famous queens, I don't know who they are, that have done that, your country's in trouble. You could lose your queen. So I don't know, and I just stuck with it. Probably should have taken some other title.
It's very stubborn now. That's an idea.
Manuel Oberholletzer, Uncut Movies Austria. Thank you very much for this extraordinary cinematic experience. I'm still processing it. I have a question for Mr. Hammer, and then one for the Miss Calder-Marshall, and one for Sir Tom Courtenay. My question for the director is, could you tell us a little bit about your research on this topic? Because I found it well researched, what you put on screen. And for the two of you, I would like to ask you, kindly ask you, how you approached and prepared for your very complex performances. Thank you very much.
So, me first? Yeah.
Whoever wants to go first.
One of the cleverest things I've ever done in my career was to find Annie for this film. Under a stone, no. And there had been some inquiries to various actresses, and no one had taken the bait. And Juliette was very keen that we would have an English actress who could speak French, and she relied on me with my superior knowledge of English actresses. And then I looked at the casting directors list, and there was Annie. And I knew this was the answer. And I was prepared to say to Juliette, it doesn't matter if she speaks Chinese. This is it. And I've never been as clear about anything in my life. And anyway, she didn't have to speak Chinese, but it would have made no difference if she had.
I don't. I went to a lot of care homes and studied people with dementia. I'm at an age, I'm afraid, where I haven't had a facelift, so I am thought of often as a demented old lady, but not as extraordinary as this. So I have been to quite a few other care homes, but to do other parts, but this really, really excited me, and the trust that was put on me by Lance and Tom. But it is extraordinary to fully focus on people with dementia and go right inside them. It is fascinating, and I want you to dare to go as deeply as possible, because I think it's something that must be shared and considered. And I think I did love him still very much, and who knows if I'm a bit adult and want sex, but I think it came from a deep love between them. And also my husband's got dementia, so I've had a lot of background to look at.
And so, on the question of the research, yeah, it was exhaustively researched, and in the typical way of just, well, so the story idea came to me because I was hearing multiple stories all at once, and it felt like, what's the universe telling me? Like, I have to pay attention to this. And then, so it was news articles, it was personal friends, parents, many things. And so I have some personal experience, not with my parents, but where I felt somebody very dear to me. So I had an emotional connection to it. I understood the emotionality of the grieving and the length of the process and the suffering on the families. But this was not the experience of my friend. And so the story emerged out of, it was a composite of many different stories I was hearing. That's how the actual dramaturgy evolved from, what it evolved from. The scenarios. But one important question, or one important point, is the researching that we did with real professionals. And there was the SOET, the SARC doctor, the social worker. These were all people that, with Gabrielle de Sevens, who's with the bureau over there. Gabrielle's over here. So Gabrielle was my collaborator in this. Once the script was written, it had to be rewritten because we needed to bring professionals that were in the actual roles that we needed to respond to the situations in the film. And they came on board in an extensive workshopping process where I said, here's the story, here's the script, here's how I'm envisioning it so far. Is this right? Is it accurate? And they say, no, this is wrong. This would happen like this, I'd say this. And then they'd start to kind of act it out for me. I knew I was going to cast them. They didn't know that, though. And so they served first as advisors, and Gabrielle connected us to. And we exhaustively rewrote the script for accuracy based upon the professionals, because accuracy is extraordinarily important, especially in a film like this, where the subject matter is so sensitive.
Does everyone know that the care lady in the film is an actual care lady who was helping with the research? And she was such a lovely woman. And Lance was able to say, well, is that okay? Would that happen? Could that happen? And that he got her in the film. She is not an actress, but is an actual care lady. How they got it past equity, I don't know.
So the situations are vetted through them, and then the language is also mostly provided, because it's very particular vernacular.
So I remember it was very hard off camera to swear at her. She was such a nice lady. And I said, Jean, is that possible? Is that what could happen? She says, oh, I get a lot worse than that.
Can we go over here?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Fulvia Caprara from La Stampa. a national daily newspaper from Italy. The question is for Juliette Binoche, and from my point of view, you are a real heroine in this film, and so I think real and hero, heroine.
Hero?
Yes. Hero. And so, I wish to know two things from you. One, what was the most difficult part of this interpretation, of this work, of this role, the most difficult moment, the most difficult part? And in which way you decide now, in this moment of your career, in which way you decide to do or not to do a film? Thank you.
Well, when I read Lance's script and I spoke to him, I was genuinely feeling that was the right decision, because there's a search in him of looking for authenticity and something that is human, very human. So I was touched by that. And so we had, we had time actually through the rewriting of the script you were doing and trying to make it as personal as possible for him, but also for me. I felt that there was a connection. You wanted me to really feel like inside of this world, genuinely, there. And so finding the right actors to be on board, it was a journey, and I felt like we did it together somehow.
Yeah, Juliette was the first one on the project for a long
Yeah.
time. It fell apart numerous times, and Juliette is a woman of action and patience, and she scraped it off the ground several times and saved us, and wouldn't have been made without that.
Oh, well.
It was just the two of us in the wilderness for the longest time.
So when I saw the film, what struck me was the togetherness of Juliette, Annie, and myself, and then of course young Flo and her relationship with her mother. Of course, that's terribly valuable in the shape of the film, to have all of a sudden a young woman starting on her life with men. Her mother's life is, complicated, obviously. And the old couple, of course, it can't end well. And so, with the young one, life goes on. And there she is again. She'll smile, having had her first initiation. I found that very beautiful.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this astonishing film. My question is for Adolfo Veloso, and I would like to know if, beyond the impressive narrative and framing of the film, because we all know we are dealing with an important topic, at least the way the films speak about it, I think the same as my colleague, I think it's the best film so far from the Berlinale. There are some metaphorical interpretation of the use of the stairs towards the film. We see a lot of stairs. The film begins like that, a couple from the subway, inside the house, outside, and the switch of colors. The first half is white, everything is white. I was surprised there were no paintings, but suddenly we saw the other woman painting, and we see the paintings, and we start seeing blue, actually blue and green, what Juliette is using now. The whole film is, the second part, full of green and blue. And I love that. I don't know if it was just a decision or there are some kind of metaphorical interpretation, because I love that. Thank you.
First of all, I'm really glad someone asked about the title, because I wanted to ask that for a while. But about the colors, I feel like Lance had it really clear in his mind that he wanted it to be, especially for the house, kind of a blank canvas, to have the actors kind of like being the main center of attention in all that, and I feel like it's just a background that allows that a lot. And there was something also about the way we shot it, that we wanted it to feel like in the beginning of the movie everybody's on their routine, on their daily life in a way, and that's kind of broken in a way. And that's why, like, for example, when we're shooting everything with the couple at the house, the camera doesn't move at all. It's a static camera. And then when we go to Flo's character, for example, it's a handheld camera, moving the camera around. And with Juliette's character, it's kind of in between both. Like she's like flying between both worlds in a way that you have like all that language depending on what she's living. And then with Tom and Annie, at some point they also get out of their comfort zone. They get out of the routine, and the camera reacts to that. So we were always just like reacting to their presence and what they're doing. And the stairs are kind of a bit of like, we shot on a real location. That's an actual house. And one of the amazing things about shooting in that house is it had all those challenges. Like we had those stairs. It was hard to bring gear in. It was hard to do everything. But it was also amazing to portray how hard it was to live on that house. And for that couple, and also on the decision of then bringing her to somewhere else to have an easier life. So the whole thing it's very much about being respectful to the story they're living and reacting to what the actors were doing.
Thank you. Also, I want to add something is that the approach that Lance and Adolfo worked in towards making the film, because it's really a moment of coming to the point where you're starting to shoot and it's there. And what was beautiful is to see that Lance organized the 2 weeks rehearsals with all the actors and the special people related to all the jobs they were doing, because there are so many of them. So it was a discovery, it was a workshop for us really, and discussing all the, the dialogue, discussing what was happening. And then Lance decided to postpone the shooting for a week because he felt we were not ready yet, and so in order to do a week rehearsal in the house. And also you changed the house, I think, at the last minute or something. So every single step of this film was really a question. We were walking towards this need of making this film, but and daring to be in a very fragile position, so fragile that you had the COVID first day of shooting, and he had to have a day and a half by himself in the car, and having to direct the film. And I felt like there was there was je sais pas comment dire en anglais. You were punished after all this, and then thank God after 2 days it was fine, you came back. But the journey of this preparation and making the film was so special, because your love for cinema is so deep and so special, and we were really the ones as actors and also technicians to be having this privilege to work with you.
Thank you.
Nearly out of time.
Yes.
Really, really
Yes. So, excellent film, fantastic. It seems that we have a great comment of human condition here. Would you like, Ms. Binoche and Mr. Hammer, to make a comment on this special existential situation that we're facing? People aging, dying, loving, having sex.
We should call it the God, don't you think? What's going on here?
It's a matter of
everybody's dying and getting old.
So, about if you can make a comment on this existential situation in this film and in between you and your daughter.
Yeah, why don't you speak a little
bit? No, we can share.
You can take the heaviest. You take the heaviest question. What's the existential? Wait.
Hang on a minute. No, it was really exciting to explore that, and that's what drew me to the script, is that like proximity between the love of the first love of Sarah's life versus the kind of end of life love that Leslie and Martin have for each other. And but it was, acting with Juliette was like the easiest thing that any actor can possibly do, because she just kind of sucks you into her character space, and you can't help but fall into that as a character. So it was it was really, really fun for me it was an absolute pleasure to act with all of you. Everyone's incredible, and of course Lance, and of course no, but you guys take the heavy part.
Okay, and the very last one, we're going to go here. Sorry, yes?
figures, thank you, that are in these two very different phases of our life. And what did you learn as an actor from these two forces of acting? Thank you.
I mean, Annie and Juliette's ability to throw themselves into a role and kind of just completely commit as actors, I've never seen anything like it. Like I being on set with you guys and watching you, just even the rehearsal period go so deep into the character just really inspired me as an actor to kind of take that approach. And I guess for Sarah, they're both just incredibly strong women, and at the end of the day, this is about a line of very, very strong women in this family, and she has two amazing role models to look up to. Of course, going through things that so many families go through. So yeah, for Sarah, I think it was a case of watching her mum Amanda deal with this terrible situation, but stay so strong and also be so vulnerable and open with her emotions, which is also incredibly important for healthy relationships, I guess.
I think it's a good point to stop to leave this wonderful film with the youngest cast member. Thank you very much. Thank you to the panel for this extraordinary film.
I've got to go that way. Honestly, we've got to go and get ready for, on stage. Very much.